Hello.
I have found a hidden gem and lock of the summer.
The PLL.
The hell is that?
The Premier Lacrosse League.
I came in with my ex like Selena, the flex, bumping Justin Bieber, the fever and left, she know what she need, or she blessed, giving my best, yeah, I got my heart on my sleeve with a knife in my back, what's with that, 21, I love him, they're my brother, that's my stack, Metro made the beat, so you know that it's gon' slap, yeah, it's gon' slap, time, run it back, talking to a diva, yeah, she on my nerves, she think that I need her, kick her to the curb, all I know is you could've had the world, yeah, you were my world.
Got these girls on my neck, got these girls on my track, like Selena, baby, on my cheating, baby, yeah. She taking a Lambo for a drive, it's in my bed's door, and she way out the store. I got my heart on my sleeve with the city on my back.
God,
Wow.
damn.
Wow.
Hey, I'm jacked up, boys.
Who
I'm jacked up.
who cooked that one up?
Dude, I knew that we were going to be coming on here, but god damn, I didn't know you were going to be coming out with fire right out of the gate with the intro like that. So,
Yo, shout out our boy Bryce sitting right next to me. Gutsy's brother cooked that one up like no other.
unreal.
was
I
sweet.
mean, I'm ready to run through a wall, boys. I don't know about you. I knew that we were about to be hyped up for the first ever edition of Net Profits here, powered by SoBet. But coming out of the gate like that, like, god damn, I'm ready. I'm your host, Dan Alexander. I got Jack with me. I got Brenny Locks with me. And we're talking a little PLL here, a little bit probably different than what you guys are used to hearing on our live streams here. But, man, I think Brenny probably knows there's money to be made through here. I know Jack was out there feeling some PLL action. So first things first, boys, how we doing? Jack, I'll start with you because I know this weekend, probably a little shell shock, a little culture shock for you out there at a PLL game, right?
Yeah, I mean, I pulled up in Albany by myself, and let's just say driving to my parking spot, my breath was taken away. I fell in love with the culture. You say culture. There's a culture to this sport, and we saw it. I parked my car, did a little walk, got to the stadium, sat in my seat, and witnessed just beautiful lacrosse being played. And it so entertaining. Every possession, it's like, what the hell is going to happen? I was trying to film the game, and I'm obviously
don't know where to go.
Yeah, I've watched lacrosse, and I've grown up all around every sport, to be honest, but lacrosse was one of those sports that I just never really played or paid attention to or anything like that. And now here I'm sitting and I'm trying to follow it, and everything is just happening. The ball goes this way, that way, this way, that way. All of a sudden, a guy throws his stick through his legs, and I'm like, you know what? This sport is a blessing, and I'm happy to soak it all in. And I hope that I can give the lens of like a new lacrosse fan that like slowly rises to fall in love with the sport. Cause I fell in love with it 30 minutes into that game. I'm like, this sport is electric.
Well, dude, I think one of the huge things too that you notice with the PLL right out of the gate is, I mean, this is high quality stuff that's going on. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't run of the mill like that. That's kind of what ended up happening with the MLL. And why I was so pumped as a lacrosse fan that the PLL bought the MLL, because the MLL was like these dudes, they were like medical salesmen on the week. And then on the weekend, it was like a men's league pickup style, but this is legit like professionals at the top of their craft. And that's what you're seeing, the high level of play that there is. I'll bring Brenny in on this as well. And then we're going to get some thoughts from what happened on week one. And don't worry, live streamers, we also got some bets that are going to be coming your way, because I know everybody needs to be told what we need to bet on this weekend. So we got you by the time that we sign off here. But Brenny, how about you? What was your takeaway? You weren't as close to it as my man Jack, but what'd you think in week one?
No, I mean, what a great start. Back-to-back games, Saturday and Sunday on ABC was sick in general. And then you take a look at what Bryce did for us with the Open. That highlight was sick. Guys, that was one weekend of highlights, opening weekend. What is that going to look like in 6 weeks from now, or All-Star weekend, or PLL championship weekend? This league, it's not that it was a good week for highlights. It's just the skill in the sport. We're going to have clips like this every single weekend. But then outside of the clips, what do we have? 3 one-goal games The other game was the Archers winning, now atop the standings. They won by 3 every single game deep down in the final minutes of fourth quarter. I don't think you could have asked for much more outside of Albany.
Bro, and that's what I'm talking about too, as far as like betting on this league. I basically try and make a case as much as I possibly can for betting any underdog, because you said it right there. Like all these 1-goal games, it's just stupid. 3 of the 4 underdogs this weekend, they all cover. Some of them end up winning outright. So yeah, from a fan perspective, the PLL is sick. But from a bettor's perspective, like hate to like toot my own horn, but I went 11-0 last weekend. We started off with an absolute heater, and you can check it out at Newbie Talks. Like all of my plays I put up beforehand, so I'm not just like bullshit, and I'm not just like, oh my god, I went off. But like 11-0 is a run that you dream of. Like Jack, I know you throw bets down. I don't know if you had any live sweats out there this weekend, but like 11-0, like let's fucking go.
That is,
dude.
That's actually strictly unheard of, and which means one thing, and you have to start betting on the PLL. Like it's secret sauce or something.
well, I think
bringing the locks every week, and 11-0 to kick it off. Oh my god.
Well, now I'm just in like don't sell the bag and lose all my coins mode. You know what I mean? Because like once you go 11-0, now people expect that out of the gate. But for me, it's always I head into the season kind of like having a view of what these teams are, because like you guys, you're kind of new to it. Like that's what I'm excited for, is seeing like the lens through Jack and through you too, Brenny, like really having to be a potential betting and money maker for you. But for me, I've been tracking these lines since 2021. So like I knew going into it, when these odds makers threw up 2.5 lines, it was clueless on their part, because heading into this weekend, if you just bet 2.5 point underdogs at a blind rate, you would have been 11-4. So like going into it, I already knew that was a spot that I absolutely loved, the fact that they threw it up out of the gate. So I'm guessing you didn't have it an 11-0 week, but did you throw any bets down, Brenny, or were you like, I'm going to watch for a week, I'm going to see, like how did you approach betting it out of the gate?
So I actually had a rough start. I mean, not tragic, but definitely not 11-0. So I took the Atlas to win it all as a future 2 weeks ago.
I like that.
And then I really thought that they would cover the 2.5, and they didn't. And I mean, I'm almost okay with it, because like week 1 sometimes, if you like hit massive, then you're like on top of the world like you right now. And then you almost go into the don't sell the bag mode with all the coin that you have. I'm getting a feel for it. What I was really surprised with was I didn't bet it or anything, but the Water Dogs coming off their championship last year, I thought there'd be a little bit of a hangover, but them getting that win in overtime was sweet.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, dude. Like absolutely unreal as far as the quality of the games went. But now, and what we'll try and do with our net profits is we're going to try and get people some net profits throughout the time that we're talking here. So we will try and get you some of that info that you know and love. But really, I just like to take a view back at this weekend, because I feel like you can start learning a little bit about these teams. So I'm wondering, like we always are going to try and bet with our head, not their heart, but it's so hard not to do. You're an Atlas guy now, right? Because you have an Atlas future. Like, do you have a squad that you're going to ride with, or are you like, I can't attach myself because I just want to be making some money?
I don't think I'm hopping on like the fanned bandwagon of it. Obviously, I'm going to be an Atlas guy for the sake of the future, but like week in and week out, it's like proven a terrible strategy. If you take a future, you don't really want to take that same team every single week. True. Because like then you're totally living and dying with them. What was so interesting though was every line on DraftKings coming at 1.5 point lines, exactly like you said. Like they messed around and found out immediately, given 2.5 point underdogs. People like you cashing on that immediately. Now you're only getting 1.5. It's looking like baseball and hockey lines right now.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to see a lot in the PLL. I don't know if you guys ever bet any of the NCAA lacrosse stuff, but you'll see spreads up to like 12.5.
Totally.
Like you will never see that in the PLL, and I think it's because the parity, dude. Like these teams aren't going to get boat raced like Bellarmine playing Duke. Like it's like it's not going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that was something I was so surprised about, because you look at sports with typical 1.5 point lines, and it is the baseball and hockeys or even soccers of the world. And it's a goal, a run, everything like that in those sports is a stand up and go crazy type of event. And in lacrosse, we're getting over unders at 25.5 goals. And these games are coming down to 1 goal. So I just think the consistent competitiveness, take away betting. That's just sheer entertainment no matter what game you turn on in such a tight niche league. I think it's due for a ton of success down the road.
Jack, did you hammer anything heading into week 1, or are you just kind of like, I'm going out to these games. I don't want to be fucking looking like an idiot in person. Like, did you bet anything in week 1, or were you just like, nah, I'm gonna sit back?
Listen, I definitely sat back for week 1, but I'll tell you this. I witnessed the Atlas versus Redwoods game, and call me a bandwagon or not, but I am a full-on Atlas fan for the rest of the season, like Brenny Locks himself. It's very simple. I was talking to Bryce before the show, and he was like, yo, so what fan are you going to be of? I'm like, you know what, man? I'm going to be an Atlas fan because A, this past year I lived in an apartment called Atlas. And B,
destiny.
Yeah. And B, I think, I've heard rumors that Atlas is a very, very good team with a bright future. I love the number 7 dude. I can't think of his name right now, but number 7 on. Yeah. I absolutely love him. Well, we can analyze him all we want because I played basketball growing up, and I see similarities with offense in ways, with the movement and structure and whatnot. And number 7 is, what was his name? Oh, wasn't he Jeff Teague, right?
Jeff Teague.
Okay. He reminds me a lot of Jeff Teague. He reminds me of Jeff Teague in the NBA, a facilitator, a point guard. He can get into the floor, but he also, he's kind of a pass first guy, but at the same time, he's going to cook when he wants to cook. If he, Jeff Teague back in the day, bro, was tough. When he wanted to cook, he could cook. Now that's a long back in the day, obviously not really that long, a couple of years ago, but you get my point. I'm a big Atlas fan. I'm a supporter of Atlas. I'm hopping on the bandwagon. I love Steph Curry. So now I love Jeff Teague, and life is beautiful.
No. And I mean, apropos hopping on him right away, because he is your odds-on favorite to win MVP. So pretty smart if you're going to be like, yo, I want to look good every week. I stand for Jeff Teague. You're probably going to be looking like a genius 9 times out of 10. He's also typically, when you look at like player props, like I don't know what you guys like to bet. I like to bet it all, like player props, futures, sides, totals. If there's an edge to be had, like I'm going to find a way to hammer it. So his like point totals routinely are like 5.5. And that's obviously including goals. That's including, assists, all that stuff. And he'll routinely go over that. Like especially after a loss, like that's where like I want to buy low. And I think too, since Atlas lost out of the gate, I feel kind of bad for Brenny because he probably lost a little bit of value on his future play, but the future market is still open. You know what I mean? So like, if you want to hop in on Atlas now, you can get a better price because they lost in week 1. They were down to like 450 before the game. They're back up to 550. So you could just swoop right back in on that bad boy.
Yeah.
Totally. I definitely lost a little bit of value. I'm still confident though. I think they're going to be favored in the majority of the games the rest of the way.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, you better hope that they're favored, or hopefully potentially get some underdogs. Because here's the problem that I have with Atlas is, dude, they're so bad as a favorite. Like as far as against the spread goes, like I hate to be the bearer of bad news to you, but heading into that game, this is an Atlas team that just routinely week after week, they struggle to cover. I think they're now 6-11 since 2021 as favorites, and as 1.5 point favorites like they are this week against the Whips. They're 5-9 against the number. So that's another example of why I want to like find a way to make a case for underdogs, because I think you guys will learn pretty quick, like laying a goal and a half in this league. It's not easy. Because not only are like these underdogs insane against the spread, the money line favorites are like, I think it's something like 60% or something like that. So the favorite usually wins the game, sure. But when you're messing around with this spread, I rarely, unless it's a spot that I love, am I going to be laying 1.5. So like as far as betting in sports goes for both of you guys, are you more money line guys? Do you try and make a case for getting points? Like how do you bet it? Because I know every sport's a little bit different. This one really lined like puck lines in hockey or run lines in baseball is what you're going to see. Like 2.5 is the most you're probably going to see. So in a sport like that, like how do you guys kind of bet it?
So for me, I'm a massive underdogs guy. As for against the spread in most sports. So I love taking points. And I really like taking low amounts of points when a lot of other people just go and take the juicy money line. So in football, I think it's really cheeky sometimes if you take a 2.5 point spread. I don't buy those up to 3. I feel like football games, people always think 3 is a key number, 6 is a key, or 7. 6 can be just as key, obviously. But when it comes to favorites, if I like a favorite, I will lay the minus 160 money line. I hate, for the same reason as I like taking the low underdogs, I hate laying the minus 1.5s like last week, the minus 2.5 with the Atlas. I still would take money line again last week. I think they were the better team. It was a rough week 1, but I'm still confident in my boys bouncing back. And now that I say my boys, it's like Jack's boys too. So I guess we're
I love it. I love it.
Dude, as Brenny was talking about it, like introing, like he's like, I took the Atlas in the future. I'm sitting over here looking at Bryce. I'm like, oh shit, bro, we're gonna have to be like Atlas bros or something. Like, what's going on?
I like it. Dude, we can hop on the bandwagon together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm with you because especially this week, like I can't fucking stand the whip snakes. Like they to me are like
dude, just the name. I'm done.
That's what I mean.
The name, get it out of my face. I will never cheer for the whip snakes. That's like the Milwaukee Bucks of the NBA. Get Giannis out of my face. Get the Milwaukee Bucks out of my face. The whip snakes are dead to me.
No,
so hey, hear me out. I was coaching youth lacrosse camp this morning. I've been doing it.
Humble brag.
Monday and Tuesday. And all the guys are talking about the PLL there. Obviously, they are massive bandwagon water dogs guys. But some kid says, what even is a whip snake? That's the worst name I've ever heard. No. Meanwhile, the kid's wearing a water dog jersey, which I
like, hey, pot. It's the kettle. Yeah.
Then this other kid comes in and he calls them the drip snakes. So I was kind of feeling that because I do like their jerseys a little bit. So I may be in a minority here going against you guys, but I am a Kyle Bernlohr fan.
Fair.
I like him in the cage.
No, I mean, he had a hell of a bounce back season too, for what it's worth. Like he was absolute dog water. Speaking of water dogs, like 2 years ago, Bernlohr couldn't save a fucking beach ball. And then like, I don't know if he like Mr. Miyagi, like trained in the off season, like centered his chi, started doing yoga. Cause then he came back and he was an MVP candidate last season.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of with you, but dude, like you said, Jack, like, whip snakes, I hear that and like I hear like slap dick in my head. You know what I mean? Like I don't vibe with that. I don't vibe with that name whatsoever. And the unis, Brenny was like, he kind of likes them and likes the drip snake, but like they look like bowling outfits to me. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
Yo, Bryce, can we get a picture of the whip snake? Just like even if it's just in front of my face, I need to evaluate this situation. Because I'm thinking of you. You guys are talking about the uniform, and I'm looking at it blindly. And honestly, I'm going into this. I've already judged the book by its cover, and I'm not going to be a fan.
You should.
All right, these.
Well,
colors.
like,
dude, what's going on? It looks like a fucking Christmas tree.
Like the teal. Like I get it. If you're gonna like have like some red accent or something, make it pop. I don't vibe with it at all. They did have some sick helmets last year. It was like snake skin on the helmet, but to me, it felt like they were trying a little hard.
All right, bro. I just think they're a little lost in the sauce when it comes to the logo.
Agreed. Like it's like Infinity logo. 8.
All right. If you guys...
I see what they're doing with the teal though. I actually don't. I don't hate the idea of their little I don't know if it's camo but these green like ones are tough. Yeah. I mean,
if you guys are gonna dog the whip snakes and turn that into like the villain of this stream, it's got to be the cannons for me.
Cannons?
You don't vibe with the cannons at all?
It's not even that I don't vibe with them. Like, I hope we can come back to this opening weekly PLL stream and make me look like a genius. I think the Cannons are like well under 500 by the end of the
Oh,
year.
they're booty.
I mean, they I could see.
All right,
them,
they
like,
look like when
wins.
you create. Oh, sorry. Go for it, Brenny.
No, that's it. I'm just saying right now. Clip this in a couple months. Cannons 2-3 wins.
The Cannons I just searched them up and they kind of look like if you were to create like an NBA or MLB team on like franchise mode, but then like after the first day you'd give up because like it's too much work and you're just like, I'm just gonna go with the default unis. I'm just gonna go with the default lifestyle. This team sucks.
Well, but Jack, you should appreciate it. They used to in the MLL. They were the one team that like kept the same logo when the PLL and MLL merged. They were an expansion team. They were the Boston Cannons.
That's what I was actually about to say. Like, this is giving me Patriots vibes now that I think about it. So I might have just dug myself in a very deep hole.
Oh.
You got to say Lo Siento to your Boston fans. You got to
shout out Lo Siento. What happened where'd the TV go? Oh, we're having all sorts of technical difficulties over here at the Sobout house, but yeah. Right. What's going on? If things are flying everywhere. All right.
This is adversity. You're just fighting through adversity. That's why you're one of the hardest working people in the biz. Because
should I be a Cannons fan?
If you want to be dog shit, be my fan.
Are they?
I mean,
are they actually horrible? Because they do look like the brutal Patriots. And
well, here's the thing. Is I feel like they'll be decent as far as covering games. Like they had a brutal beat this last week, and they were 2.5. They were covering with a minute left, and then they got absolutely torched at the end of the game. So like, I think they'll be fine as far as betting them against the spread, but you can still get down. Their season win total is sitting at 3.5, and the under is heavily juiced. It's minus 180. So Brenny, if you want to double down on the Cannons hate, you can slam that minus 180. And Jack, if we want to have a little head to head, you can bang that plus 150. And then it's just recount who is looking good. They get your but I don't have to get there.
Jack, we
There's
should
10
do a little,
games in the season for what it's worth.
We should do a little bet ourselves, Jack.
Okay, what's the bet?
Oh God. Ooh. I don't know how to like.
People could hop in the chat and let us know what the head-to-head bet should be, right? We could as long as we have a guarantee.
Am I a Cannons fan now?
I think you just got. I think we decided.
Guys, listen.
You just bamboozled.
I am about to put myself through hell and back this NFL season. Hell and back. So I need a win. Listen, if you want me to recap the last year of sports for my fan bases, I can. But
let's hear.
It's devastating. It's truly devastating. Tom Brady fucking retires. Okay, that's the first thing, and it goes out sad. Divorces. He's the greatest human ever, and he goes out sad. Then the Patriots, dog shit, don't even make the playoffs. Then we get on to college basketball season where, yip-de-dee-da-day, the Indiana Hoosiers decide to be the greatest team heading into the tournament, and then they lose to the Miami Hurricanes in the round of 32. Okay, what's next? Golden State and Boston both lose. Boston loses in Game 7. It's just been I need the Atlas, bro. But at the same time, I do appreciate history. And if you're telling me that the Cannons are giving me Patriots vibes.
But all you need, Jack, all you need is 4 wins for this. You don't need no championship. You don't need anything crazy. All you need is 4 wins. That's all you need. And that's some plus money cheddar. It ain't bad. That's all. We're not asking you like now the bar is finally set low for your fandom. You know what I mean? Like as a Tom Brady fan, you've always been having to not only meet expectations, but exceed them. Like now all you have to do is be slightly less dog shit.
I got to go through the struggle. And that's okay. You got to grind for these 4 wins. Yeah. And I'm all in, bro. You've convinced me. All right. I'm a Cannons fan.
Talk himself into it.
Look at what we did, Brenny. We just somehow told him how bad this team is, And through that conversation, he's like, I ride for him. I die for him.
That's so me. That's the worst part, bro. It's like,
it's on brand.
It's kind of funny how the way I'm looking at it personally right now is I've been a diehard fan of, college basketball, NBA, NFL, right? And I see this, all the connecting lines of what teams I cheer for and the players I cheer for and how they act and whatnot. Everything's fairly similar, right? And now I'm going to go to the PLL and I'm going to probably do the same thing. I'm looking at a dog shit underdog team that's going to struggle through adversity. I'm going to hype them up like they're the greatest team of all time because they have that history. But at the end of the day, the Cannons are going to be the greatest team ever.
I love it. Or at least the best 4-win team that ever.
Oh yeah, that too.
So what? So we got Brenny on Atlas. So now we talked you into being the team who's still like, I think 1,200 to 1 to win the title. We've talked you into being your team. So I guess I gotta pick a squad. I'll go with Chrome. I'll go with Chrome simply because the Miami Vice vibes around Chrome to me are electric. I love the fact that their face-off man, his nickname is the Milkman, because I too, back in my day, I love to down some pasteurized milk. So I vibe with that. Grittiness, unis, the Chrome Domes, they seem like the bad boys of the league. So I'll go Chrome. Yeah, formerly known as a big milk guy. No more a big milk guy.
That's good.
Artist formerly known as big milk guy.
This will be interesting. So like in golf, if a guy were to go out with Tiger Woods and that guy's an amateur, he would get a certain amount of strokes. Do I get a certain amount of strokes in this bet because my team's dog shit? In other words, like
we have to handicap you.
Are we going am I over 4? I need to get to 4 wins or over 4.
You need to get to 4 wins. It's 3.5. So that's all you need. All you need is 4 wins. And I think you and Brenny will work up a head-to-head. Hell, I'll join on the other side because I'll say they'll go under the 3.5. So you can make Brenny and I do some dumb shit, and we'll work with the chat. We'll work with the comments, and we'll figure out what this bet will be. But the bet will be the head-to-head. All you need is 4 wins, and we'll have action throughout the season.
I'll come back next stream. I will come back with my my side of the bet. You guys will come back with your side of the bet.
Deal. So a week from today, we will formulate.
Brennan can think of some good things. I know he can.
I
already got something cooking.
Yeah, I got some.
Hey, as long as you can't, just don't take away anything Jason Tatum from me. All right, brother.
See, I started with that, but now I'm keeping it PLL. So I'll keep it fair. No cheap shots to Jason.
No cheap shots because the TikTok comments already do that to me.
I know.
So I don't know. I already got some shit running in my head. Like I don't know. All I got is milk on the brain right now. So I gotta get with Brenny, formulate what we're gonna do. Figure it out.
All right,
you already got people riding with you, dude. Like Wes is already gonna be riding with you.
Wes is absolutely on the wagon train. There's no doubt.
I love that for him. I love
the Cannons. The Cannons are coming out with a bang.
So that was well
see what I did there?
That was really good. It took me a little bit.
It took me a second. I didn't even know what I said.
I blacked out. It was so funny. I blacked out. I don't even know what happened. I love it. All right, so we'll come back. We'll formulate what the bet's going to be. We'll do that on next week's stream. Anything before we turn the page, before we get people out of here, we'll give some thoughts coming up on this week's slate. Anything else you guys have just before we close the chapter, move forward onto this next slate of games? I'll give a little recap, a little trends coming up here. But you guys have anything on week 1 before we roll?
Well, I just got a question overall for you boys. I obviously Atlas coming in as a favorite. They're my guys. We've established that. But I thought the Archers were very impressive, and that was kind of another sleeper team with obviously getting Fields and X, Y, and Z. I just think this Archers team is the biggest threat to the Atlas right now, and I was wondering if you guys felt someone differently. Obviously, you're with the Chrome. I don't think the Cannons are too much of a threat for the title, but overall, just a question asking you guys, because I'm not saying I'm worried, but I'm definitely getting there after that week 1 performance, especially the Atlas. Just they didn't look too good. I mean, it was a 1-goal loss, but I expected more.
You notice how he did that, Jack? How he somehow weaved in that the Cannons are dog shit while posing a question to us. That was.
It's actually. I have faith in Marcus Holman and Ryan Drenner.
And Asher Nolting. Asher Nolting is your guy. Asher Nolting is the guy you want to be hammering over points props every single week. That's your boy right there. Offense runs through him.
You proposed a question to Brenny earlier that I'm now thinking about betting and whatnot and my strategy. I do think that there's a way that I can incorporate, the overs of these star players, especially for a team like the Atlas, the Jeff Teat dude, right? He's a guy that Atlas got down early in that game, and that offense it opens up. It's just goal, 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 goal. So I think a guy like Jeff Teat, obviously we were talking about his overs, but hammer those good teams that are going to maybe get down early and have to catch up some grass.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, too, Atlas, since in the PLL, if people aren't as familiar, there's a little arc. That's your 2-point arc. And as far as 2-point teams go, Atlas is the squad. Like they average at least attempting 4 or 5 of those bad boys a game. So they can fill up the stat sheet. And when you're talking about points, a 2-point goal is worth 2 points. So, if one of them bangs a 2-point goal, their total sitting at 2.5. All you need is an assist. All you need is one more goal. So, no, I think that's a great way to potentially look at it, is take some of these teams that could potentially trail a little bit early, but have good offenses to be banging those point totals for sure.
Yeah, Gutsy in the chat said, if given the opportunity, I could be absolute sniper with a stick in my hand. Pause.
God. Yeah, pause. Major pause.
Yeah, I'd lead the league in these 2-point shots. How far out are they? 20 feet?
I think it's only a 13-foot arc or 13-yard arc, something like that. I gotta nail down it's not crazy far, but if you look at it on the field, it seems further than it actually is. So I say Gutsy should start up a live stream and we'll set him at the arc. We'll see how many he can rip on an open goal.
I can play goalie. I've played goalie in high school.
Freddie will fuck him up.
I want that. I want that action.
I feel like we should, we'll bang out a good amount of shows, get this ball rolling, and, the publicity will come. And then I say we do a little 5-on-5, lacrosse, bet,
hell yeah.
PLL, whatever it may be. Give me a stick, like Gutsy said.
Yeah, bro, they got these little tiny mini sticks that are PLL branded. We do a little mini lacrosse tournament. We'll all get out there, and then I want to see what Gutsy can do.
Yeah, honestly, I want to test my own capabilities.
I'm gonna have you guys on clamps.
On God. I don't doubt it. I feel like Brenny would be a menace with a long pole. I feel like
I'm only a goalie. I can't play.
Oh, a goalie.
Yeah,
and Gutsy got no chance.
Well, I will say this with the grain of salt. I'm a 2-time Division II goalie of the year.
Holy shit!
But not D1. I go to a public school, so I'm not D1.
Hey, you still got the D2. I think I got someone in here. A little smattering of applause there for you.
Thank you guys.
Wait, we can hit that too. Yo, hit the applause.
There you go. I love it. Yeah, dude, there's a whole bunch of crazy shit in here. So if you guys ever need anything, I probably have something in this insane board over here for you. Like this one for my man Jack, for the fact that he took the camp. All right.
All right, now give me them bets for next week. I want to hear what y'all are taking.
All right, boys. Yeah. Let's get some bets, and then we'll get folks out of here on the first edition of Net Profits. Appreciate everybody tuning in here. But as far as the board, I loved it going into week 1. Week 2, I feel like the odds makers were like, holy shit, Newbie obliterated us. He went 11-0. Let's just put up dog shit, because there's nothing that screams to me as like anything that I love. I do have some bets for you, and once I dive in on player props, I'll have a couple more that I'll shoot out to you guys that we can share throughout the week. But Brenny, did anything stand out to you? Because it's all 1.5s across the board. Pretty much all of the totals are 24.5, except the Whip Snakes and Atlas. We're seeing a 23.5. So anything that screamed out to you when you just looked at the board?
I'm a big fan of Chrome on the money line.
Love this.
That's your squad, minus 115 price. 1 goal win. Obviously, Cross Ferreira with that game winner. That was sick. Coming in with some momentum, but I think, I don't know. I just really like them with that price. I thought they would have been, honestly, a plus money underdog this week. And to get them at that price, I'm really liking the Chrome. And the way you talked about them earlier almost made me more confident about that. But that's what I'm seeing right now, to be completely honest, no matter what sport it is. I don't normally lock in my picks till day of or day before. So I'll have those on TikTok officially. I might not even take the Chrome, but right now that's the early kind of sneak peek that I'm seeing.
Dude, and for what it's worth, this is only the third time that those two teams are going to match up, Chrome and Archers. The other two meeting actually saw exactly like you were saying, the Chrome as dogs, pretty big dogs in them as well, because this is only the third time that these two teams are playing. Chrome in these matchups, 2-0 straight up. 2-0 against the spread. So could they make it an even 3-0? We'll see. But the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause is this Chrome team is typically good in the underdog role. They're just 2-7 against the spread as favorites. So I like you taking the spread out of it and just saying, hey, give me money line. For me, if I got to make a pick here for the folks, Jack, and I'll make all my official picks on Twitter at Newbie Talk. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for those, because that's where I blast out my official picks for the week. Usually have at least 4. This last weekend, I was spraying the board because I loved it. Today here on a Tuesday for net profits, we're going with the over in the Atlas and Drip Snakes game. It's 23.5. Now, I just look at this and I think this is a great potential number. I told you guys how the Atlas, they're like a potential 2-point shooting team. Even though the Whip Snakes really aren't a 2-team, this matchup in the times that they played each other 3 straight times, we average over 2 2-pointers a game. So like we could steal 4 to 6 goals right there. I think it might be a little bit sweaty, but whenever a game is lined at 23.5 and the Atlas are playing, it's an overplay for me. At games line 23.5 in the Atlas's history, they are 5-0 to the over. So I think the Atlas are going to come out a little bit pissed off. They don't want to go 0-2. They've never beat the Whip Snakes. They're going to be highly motivated. I think we see a boatload of goals in this one over Atlas Whip Snakes 23.5. That's my
Let's
bet,
go.
Jack.
I love it.
Decent breakdown.
That was great.
If I had to love a bet this weekend, it'd be that, because
how
you presented it, it involves points with the Atlas, and I think that's, I'm new to this. Oh, there goes my camera, but you can still hear me.
Adversity.
You can still hear.
Fight through.
Can
adversity.
you still hear me?
Yep.
Oh, we hear you loud and clear. You never sounded better. It might be better without the camera.
To be honest. There we go. We're back.
We're back.
No.
We're back.
If there's one thing I've learned, is that the Atlas put a lot of points on the board and they pressure the hole. So, what?
I love it.
I will say this.
I love it, but yeah.
From just to get away from that, I think the big thing with the Atlas success, and especially scoring goals, is I think they got to clear the ball quicker, because this is a team, they're deep, they can run. I thought the Woods were really good. I mean, college lacrosse, Newbie. I'm a huge college lacrosse guy. Like, riding is so big in that sport, I would say, compared to the PLL.
What?
And the Woods ride was definitely there last week. It slowed the Atlas down. It frustrated them early when they went stalemate kind of in that second quarter. But if the Atlas can get out running, I think they'll have an easier time than against the Woods. I think you should see a lot of goals in that game. I might tell you, boys.
I love it. And I'm also realizing throughout this stream, just how sus a lot of lacrosse terminology is.
Yeah.
We're riding woods. We're fucking playing it to the whole.
We're whipping snakes out here, fellas. Like, what's going on?
I love it, man. And I'm sure it's only going to get, I mean, this is only the first edition in Net Profits. I'm sure we're only going to get more debauchery as it goes on, like absurdity. All right. We probably already went longer than we planned on going. So I'll get you two guys out of here, but this was so much fun. I love this. If you guys love the PLL live stream, all we ask you to do, tell folks about it. We're going to do it around this time every Tuesday, every week. And we may even have some different guests rotating, but you're guaranteed to get me, Newbie, Jack, and Brenny. And let's go. Anyone who's playing the Cannons. Let's go, boys. That's what
we like.
All we need is 7 losses. Yeah, all we need is 7 losses. And let us know. Reach out to us. What should the bet be? We're going to formulate it. Brenny and I got the under 3.5 for the Cannons. Jack, Wes, whoever else wants to ride with them's got the over. Somebody's going to be drinking a shit ton of milk. That's all I know. So, boys, let's shut it down here for the day. That's Jack. That's Brenny. I'm Newbie. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on Net.